The air hung thick and heavy, a tapestry woven from the stench of decay and the faintest whisper of sulfur. A chill, sharp as shattered glass, pierced through Cale's leather armor, sending shivers dancing down his spine. He took a hesitant step across the threshold, the crunch of bone and gravel under his boots the only sound in the oppressive silence. Above, the midday sun struggled in vain to penetrate the suffocating gloom, its feeble rays swallowed whole by the gaping maw of the dungeon. The air grew colder, damper, with each step Cale took. His fingers tightened around the pommel of his sword, the cold steel a small comfort in the face of the unknown. He ventured deeper, each step taking him further from the world he knew, and deeper into the belly of the beast. The passage twisted and turned, a labyrinth of shadows and whispers, leading him ever downwards into the heart of the earth. Cale stumbled, his boots catching on the uneven flagstones. He cursed under his breath, the sound swallowed by the oppressive silence. Fear, cold and clammy, tightened its grip on his chest, squeezing the air from his lungs. He knew he wasn't alone. He could feel it, a presence, dark and malevolent, lurking just beyond the reach of his flickering torch. It coiled around him, a living shadow, whispering promises of power and tempting him with whispers of forgotten magic. He closed his eyes, his breath catching in his throat. He could feel the power within him, a dormant volcano waiting to erupt. But how to unleash it? How to wield this untamed magic that sang in his veins? Frustration welled up inside him, hot and bitter. He lashed out, his sword whistling through the air, but meeting only empty darkness. He was a blade without an edge, a torch fighting the endless night. A guttural growl echoed through the chamber, sending shivers crawling down Cale's spine. Two glowing eyes, malevolent and hungry, pierced the darkness, followed by a low growl that seemed to shake the very foundations of the dungeon. The creature moved with a sinuous grace that belied its size, its claws scraping against the stone floor, sending sparks flying. Panic flared, hot and bright, threatening to consume him. He scrambled backwards, his back hitting the cold, damp wall. He raised his sword, the steel feeling thin and inadequate in the face of such primal fury. He was outmatched, outgunned, a lamb being herded towards the slaughter. The creature lunged, a blur of teeth and claws. Cale twisted, narrowly avoiding the attack. The stench of the creature's breath washed over him, a noxious mix of decay and death. He was cornered, trapped, with nowhere left to run. And then something shifted within him. The fear remained, but it was joined by something else, a spark of defiance, a flicker of the power he could feel lurking beneath the surface. He closed his eyes, focusing on the thrumming power that pulsed within him. He reached for it, drawing it up from the depths of his being, feeling it surge through his veins like molten lava. He opened his eyes and the world was ablaze with color, a kaleidoscope of energy and magic. The creature hesitated, sensing the shift in power. Cale didn't give it a chance to react. He unleashed a torrent of raw energy, a wave of pure force that slammed into the creature, throwing it back against the wall. The creature howled in pain, its glowing eyes wide with surprise and fear. Cale pressed his advantage, his movements no longer clumsy or hesitant. He moved with a newfound grace and power, his sword a blur of deadly light. Each strike was infused with magic, each blow echoing with the fury of a storm. The creature, wounded and disoriented, staggered under the onslaught. With a final, desperate roar, it turned, melting back into the shadows from whence it came. Cale stood panting, his body trembling with exertion, but his spirit soaring. He had faced his fear, confronted the darkness within, and emerged victorious. He was no longer just Cale. He was something more. He was the Demon Slayer, and this was just the beginning.